Aloha everybody, what is really good? Today is Monday, August 12th, 2019. We got another Escape update for y'all. Today's a standard patch week, but we do see the start of the Slayer and Combat week for the Summer Escape event. So without any further ado, let's jump right into the video, let's go.
Cats is the illest. What you talking about, Willis?
Alright guys, as I said, this week's all about Combat and Slayer. So from the 12th to the 18th, you can see the following bonuses, like increases to rare drops. All charm drops give one more than normal. Shattered Worlds grant 100% extra Shattered Anima. You can loot your raids once per day, 25% increased drop rate of Grimoire pages from Solak. Slayer assignments are treated as VIP tickets. 25% increased Slayer XP, including Reaper assignments. The choice of Boss Slayer assignments, 10% increased Ushabti catch chance. And don't forget, when you're traveling around throughout the game world, keep an eye out on lodestones once every hour. Each lodestone will receive balloon drops containing Silverhawk feathers, summary snacks, and more. That being said, we're going to shift on over to the patch notes already and see exactly what's been changed with today's update. So let's check it out. Changes to Anachronia. Changed Dino Island to Anachronia on the Summer Escape interface within the Anachronia tab. Following Anachronia quick chat options have been added. Completed laps on the agility course with your fastest time. You have X amount of resources. You built X tier of whatever base camp building. You have X number of hunter tokens, and you've successfully tracked and hunted X amount of big game dinosaurs. The Leave No Zygomite Buried achievement has been updated to include the names of every Zygomite. These will become highlighted when the Zygomite has been found. Moving on to some combat changes. Fixed an issue where the helm of the Parched Worm would give a Firewatch task at Laniakea. Updated clue scroll map to better reference the updated mining site to the mine southeast of Varrock. Devil's Snare special attack will no longer continue after the NPC has died. Armor spikes will no longer damage targets that cannot be attacked by normal means. The Brian Saber special attack will now work in the Shadow Reef. The ranged skill cape now shows the correct skill cape perk in the ranged steel guide. Fixed an issue where the Dark Core would continue damaging players after the Corporal Beast has died. Fixed an issue where the Trophy Taker perk would decrease the number of Slayer points a player received from a Slayer task. Corrected the drop table of the Troll P-Hat to drop Adamant Salvage. Monsters in the Collapsing Cave during Toxket Dill will now hit the player more often. Fixed an issue where co-op Slayer kill count was decreased too much for one partner when both players killed the same creature. Fixed an issue where completing a co-op Slayer task could show your Slayer task streak as a negative number. Mandrith co-op Slayer tasks now award 8 co-op points when completed. Tuska's Wrath now works with the Elves in God Wars Dungeon 2 whilst on task. Fixed an issue where Slayer kill count was decreasing twice if a tag target was killed by another player. Calfight Queen will now despawn her Calfight Guardians when killed in an instance. Updated the Slice ability description to let players know it works on stunned or bound opponents. The Elven Ritual Shard will now be dropped rather than destroyed if killed when sculled in the wilderness. Fixed an issue with the Dragon Trinkets awarding double Slayer kill count. A safe spot while fighting Moss Golems has been removed. Iron Men can now complete Slayer tasks within the Dragonkin Laboratory. Gorvek's Spine attack will now only hit the main target and players in close proximity to that target. Tuska's Wrath now works correctly on Lava Strikeworms and dragons when on task inside Elite Dungeons 2. Poison damage no longer reduces your Invention Charge Kit. Inconsistency when using Spellbook swap from the Lunar and Ancient Magic books has been resolved. Moving on to some other changes. Added the clue scroll bonus to the Summer Escape interface. This can be found in the Double Up Weekends tab. Fixed an issue preventing memory shards from being stacked when a player had no free inventory spaces. Hunter training icons can now correctly toggle visibility via the world map. Locked Laniakea in NPC contact interface now blends in with the rest of the locked NPCs. The illumination aura can now be unequipped. The music track Beyond Time's Reach had a rendering error which has been resolved. Changed some of Jek's dialogue to now correctly refer to Simon as a female. The spectacular summer skill off is now over. As such, Morn is now packed up and moved on. Obsolete ship parks will now be hidden correctly when upgrades aren't bought in order. Players whom have already got a cat training medal from Gertrude previously can now complete the achievement by talking to Gertrude. You can now choose a Slayer cape emote correctly when wearing a completion cape. Checks have been added to make sure that transmogrified states get removed when leaving the Brimhaven Adamant Dungeon. Receiving a Nihil damage enhancer from the Motherlode Maw will no longer refer to it as an unused enhancer. The enhancer's interface has been cleaned up. Ports enhancers have the option to use 5, 10, or all on the enhancer's toggle menu. The ordinary Willow Blackjack can now correctly be used to complete the Krillo achievement. The Tarotmin and Marintel herbs were the wrong way around in the herb cleaning interface, and this has been fixed. The Azdarin Birthright achievement will now show a pop-up on completion. Fixed an issue where players could cause a movement stall by alternating digging with a spade and reading a book. Fixed an issue where a teleport sound effect was looping during Inakra's Lament. The Takhar Mock achievement has been updated to refer to the correct smithing level requirements. Fixed the music in Death's Realm from not playing a pawn using the hourglass. Several clue scrolls now refer to the correct helms. An assist system message will no longer appear for Ironman accounts when checking to build a paddock in player-owned farm. Rat pits are no longer mentioned on rune metrics after completing Ratcatcher's quest. Stopped a floating issue while inside the Necril area of the Slayer Tower. Replaced combined but incomplete Godsword blade shards with their component shards. All elegant shirts, blouses, legs, and skirts can now be added to player-owned houses. The Shadow World's max world reach count has been prevented from increasing before actually reaching the next world. There's no longer 2 charges remaining lines displayed in the tooltip for the Toggle Zo charged. Untradeable items will now show their item value when inside loot interfaces. Examining items in a Beast of Burden now correctly shows item price. A quick chat option stating how many players in your friend's chat are on your world now correctly references this. Unlock hints for Honky Tonky Parade now refers to the correct location. Casting High Alchemy on noted Elite Dungeon relics will no longer show a high value warning. Red Sandstone will no longer be marked as complete for the I Love Dailyscape achievement if the player does not have access to the rock. The statue of Rhiannon will now consistently display for players who have fully completed it. Moving on to quest changes. Dealing with Scabaros now correctly state that you need 36 bronze bars in the quest requirements. Updated the World Wakes quest overview notes. Helping Laniakea mini quest is now placed in the correct order under release dates in the quest list. Dr. Nabanik now directs players to the correct winch during the temple at Santistan. Xenia during the Blood Pack will now give the player a bronze sword even if the player has another lesser weapon equipped in their inventory. Fixed an issue where a player's swimming animation would stop after using a ladder on the sunken ship in Rocking Out. Titans and Familiars can no longer damage the tentacles of Zogoth during the Pieces of Hate. Players can no longer reclaim the Gilded Cabbage from Maze Quest Caravan without retrieving it from the Death of Chivalry Quest area first. Combat Familiars commanded to attack Akahi and his Cyclopean minions during the Head of the Family mini quest no longer continue to attack the Cyclops after you have defeated them. Free-to-play players can no longer access the Elemental Workshop 2 except interface via the bookcase. Hint arrows used for the mining sites map are now pointing to correct locations in What's Mine is Yours quest. Dragon Slayer quest is no longer listed as a requirement on defense skill guides to wear Mystic Armor and Blue D-Hide. Grand Tree Rock Scrabble shortcut will now correctly show the Grand Tree quest requirement in the Agility skill guide. Fixed an issue where players could not search the Muspa statue in the Tale of Muspa. The Light Creature Familiar now correctly acts as a blue charm familiar during the Summer's End quest. Movement abilities such as Surge can no longer be used to bypass the core mechanics of the Animal Pen puzzle of Swept Away. The quest complete screen for One Small Favor will no longer have the log icon misaligned. The Lost Toys mini quest now requires Lord of Vampirion as it unlocks areas containing the last of the Lost Toys, so it is required to complete the mini quest. Moving on to some skilling changes. The Mining Guild Hidden Mine in the Dungeoneering skill guide now shows the correct ore type. Fixed an issue with cooking via the clay oven in Nitsinat. Fixed an issue where the fire spirits found when burning driftwood would state their host log as Willow. Added skill level to Dungeoneering skill door examine messages. The eastmost coal rock in the southwest mining in Lumbridge Swamp now glows better when under the effects of Rockertunity. Crafting skill cape perk now works when fixing the torn robe top and bottoms of Elidinus. Golden rocks can now be reobtained from smithing any item that requires heat heat or reheating. Previously, only strange rocks could be obtained from smithing, and only smelting would give gold rocks. Free-to-play players will once again be able to buy and use the Demonheim skill door boost. Stone Slab in Czar City is now accessible at 40 mining. The state of a Ode sword will now reset correctly when declining a sword via ceremonial smithing. Fixed an issue where crafting jewelry from the Beast of Burden would cause the crafted item to be destroyed. If you correctly have 5 box traps laid and your hunter level falls below 80, the traps will no longer disappear if you try to repair one. The crafting skill guide incorrectly stated that the lapis lazuli ring was a member's item. This has been resolved. Inspecting a herb patch will now correctly state when it's being protected by the green figure's aura or the herb protector. And moving on to some text updates. Fix the typo for the chat messages when fletching arrows with the skill cape equipped. A tooltip for the Tempest armor no longer states all 5 pieces of the armor are required for the set effect. Fixed a text issue when opening the aura management interface with open on favorites checked. Fixed capitalization inconsistencies for some items. Uncut gems all have their consistent examine text. Talking to a kitten will no longer reference the Ardoin rat pits. Removed duplicated text dialogue from ceramic vase and replaced with the correct one. And finally, the damage dealt to the lava geyser is now not shown in chats when the chat is filtered. That is it for your patch notes. Links to everything discussed in this video will be down in the description below if you want to go check them out for yourself. Head on over there to do so. With that, I'm gonna wrap up the video. If you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you're not subscribed and you want to stay up to date on all things RuneScape related, then hit that subscribe button. Anyways, I appreciate you watching. I am out. Peace.